On a recent leadership experience that I had to Indianola, Mississippi, I got to experience the same community exploration that you guys just had. For 100 minutes, I got to explore the town of Indianola. I learned more about Indianola in 100 minutes than I learned about Phoenix, and I had been living here for 4 years. While I got to know my students and their families and the things that my students did on the weekends, I didn't necessarily get to understand the nuances of the city or the community that I was living in, the leaders that made up the community and what they wanted for their community and what justice meant for the students and for the community. During my 100 minutes in Indianola, I learned what structures define the town, what businesses ran the town, and what the people wanted for the future of Indianola. I spent my 100 minutes actually with another girl named Erin. Erin and I started out exploring the town of Indianola. We went to the local churches and we tried to find a local park. And we read about the history of Indianola through historical markers that they had on the side of the road. When we finally found a local park, I wanted to continue to read the historical markers around the town, where Erin actually wanted to go talk to a group of women sitting at a picnic bench at the community, or at the park. So there, we got to talk to Rosa, among a few other women, who explained to us the beauty of Indianola, what she wanted for her children and her grandchildren in Indianola. And she really explained the nuances of the railroad tracks in Indianola, where the north side of the railroad tracks was where most of the white community, the white, more affluent community lived, and the south side of the railroad tracks was where the African-American community in Indianola mostly lived. Erin and I were amazed by Rosa's knowledge and passion about Indianola, and we learned so much from her during the time we were talking. So we ended our exploration of Indianola at the places that Rosa suggested. We went into a local cafe and got to meet the business owner there as well. So I tell you this not to explain the nuances and the beauty and what I learned about Indianola, but to actually take you to the reflections about my experience in this and what I learned about myself throughout this experience. So as I reflected on my community exploration, I heard from others that also got to explore the town, and I realized that had I not gone on my exploration with Erin, I actually would have never sought out others' perspectives. I would have never met Rosa, and I never would have really understood the nuances between the north side of the tracks and the south side of the tracks. Now, granted, I would have seen the discrepancies between the north side of the railroad tracks and the south side of the railroad tracks, but I never would have really understood how the railroad tracks actually caused racial and economic tensions in the city of Indianola. That being said, when I heard from others who didn't speak to members of the community, they actually got to see businesses that had been vacated because of the economic downturn. And so they got to explore a whole nother part of Indianola that I never got to see. So while I think about the things that I gained from talking to Rosa, there are also things that I missed by not exploring the places of the community more. So what I realized is that had I not had Erin pushing me to meet members of the community and to go outside of my comfort zone to talk to Rosa, I would have never got the same perspective as I got today. So as I go to explore a new community, it makes me realize that I need to push myself outside of my comfort zone and actually talk to members of the community, because that's not something that I will naturally do. So as I go into a new community, I need to push myself to talk to people in the community and really understand what they want for the community and for the students in that community, as well as continually to explore the different areas that the community has to offer. So now, as you discuss in your groups, I urge you to think not only about what you learned about Phoenix, but also what you learned about yourself, the perspectives that you sought out and the perspectives that you might have missed as you explored your new community.